Okay, this video shows you how to add a snare to your playing. What I mean by that is this is an extension of the muting that we've been doing where we karate chop the strings. The only difference is this time we're going to hit the strings in such a way that the strings themselves hit against the fretboard. If you've ever taken a snare drum, which is that drum that sits between the drummer's knees and they hit on it hard, typically on the 2 and 4, if you were to flip that drum over, underneath it there's a bunch of strings that flap up against the bottom of the snare drum. Okay, that's called the snare. And if you were to take that snare off, there's a little switch on the side, if you took that off, it would just sound like a straight up drum without that bright sound like that. Okay, so in essence what we're doing is we're imitating a snare by doing this. And snare drums typically hit on the 2 and the 4 of the beat, so like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So in that case we're imitating this snare drum, so we're typically going to hit our strings on 2 and 4. So if I were to do something like, this is without it, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 3 and 4. And if I wanted to add the snare feel to it, I'd go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 3 and... Now we don't have to do it on the 2 and the 4 every time. We could just do it on the 2 or something like that. We could go... speed this up, make it sound really cool. Or okay, and that gives a really nice percussive sound, moves the song along, and gives you a kind of a drummer feel to it. When you're doing this, there's going to be a desire to hit the strings sideways. Again, just like we were doing the mute before, I would suggest coming down like that so you get that sound. You want those strings to smack up against the fretboard, and you want it to be... You don't want to be coming at it like an angle, okay? You just want to move your hand straight down, your pick's down here, and then you can do the upbeat, okay? Practice this slowly by just doing, say, like on the 2, and practice a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and just hit the snare on the 2. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and after you practice that and you get pretty good at that, practice it on the 2 and the 4, and then try to spice up the rest of your strumming with this snare-like technique.